Why do you like performing comedy?
I like performing comedy mostly because it's the one thing that I'm good at. There's not much in this world that I'm good at doing, and making people laugh seems to be what has always come naturally to me.
I don't know. I've always liked watching comedies, and I always thought, like, hey, I want to do that.
Just because it's so nice to get that immediate feedback of laughter. Like, because if I did drama or anything like that, like, it's you know, you kind of soul search when you do drama, and it leaves people in tears, but like laughter is just like better.
Yeah.
Like it's just better to get that right away, and I think I like that more.
Okay, why do I like performing comedy? Well, that's a question that can only be answered with another question. So let me answer that for you. How were you born?
Has your childhood influenced why you got into comedy?
You could say that my childhood has influenced me. I believe that you really can't have a good joke unless you've really experienced true pain. And if you have experienced pain, you can take that pain and turn it into something funny.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the best defense mechanism, is laughter.
I was the youngest child, so I was always screaming at the top of my lungs for people to pay attention to me. And I feel like that has translated into comedy because I found out that if I make my brothers laugh, then they'll pay attention to me, or whoever, or my mom, or whoever. So I think that definitely translated. I had kind of a weird, not a rough childhood. I didn't like grow up in Compton or something, but like it was rocky. Like my brothers were like into drugs, and my dad's kind of a douchebag, and like so yeah. Like I had to cope with something, you know, like during my childhood, and I think that was largely humor. I tried to if like these crazy things like that an 8-year-old shouldn't be saying, like my brother's in jail for drugs, like that's something you shouldn't say, but if you can make someone laugh at
something
it,
else,
then it's good, and that's kind of like what
make it funny.
Yeah, and that's what I had to do. So I think since then I've just been like, okay, well that's what I do now. So
My family is large and Irish and drunk, and they're wackos, and they raised me to be a wacko, and I think everyone has those same stories where they're like, oh, when I was, you know, little kids are mean, so when you would be picked on, a lot of comedians like just kind of stood up for themselves or used it as like, oh, you're saying I'm fat? Yeah, you're right, I am fat. Like I ate so many goldfish just now. And like yeah, they've used it as a defense mechanism, and then all of a sudden they want to be comedians. That's probably just my story as well as everyone's.
I remember, you know, as a kid, I would want to make my parents laugh, and my cat, and my mom and my dad. So, I mean, as a child, I learned these skills, and I learned that you could make people laugh.
What do you think draws people to comedy?
The thing that really draws people to comedy is that it's the only thing on this earth that makes people feel moments of joy besides the generosity and compassion of other human beings. And laughter is definitely a way of reassuring someone that everything's okay, or it's just a way of taking your mind off, hey, you know, maybe that pregnancy you just heard that your girlfriend had.
I just said it kind of just takes you out of the normal world for a while.
Yeah, takes you for a while.
Yeah, which is like, there's a lot of theories about comedy where they say you shouldn't talk about everyday stuff because that's why people get away. That's why they go to comedies, to get away from the monotony of everyday life.
Okay.
Since, you know, human beings, since the ape stage, they've been born with this innate sort of mouth, where they, you know, they have a mouth and they have a throat, and they like, when they get happy, this bellows out of them. It's something they can't control.
So that's what draws people to comedy, is being happy. It's like wanting that.
Yeah, I'd call it more of a bellow, but yeah.
I think it's like the world's best medicine is laughter, and I think everyone draws to things that ease the pain and get their mind away from bad things. That's what comedy does.
Okay, so do you get nervous before you go perform comedy?
Well, I'm an artist and a performer. All performers get nervous before they get on stage, but as soon as they get the first few words out of their mouths, then everything just runs very smoothly and the nerves are gone.
I can't eat, and all of it sort of goes away when I'm kind of doing the thing on stage, but up until the performance, I got real anxiety because I want it to go well. I have a social anxiety where I gotta have these people like me, you know. I gotta tell jokes that like. So
Okay.
I get really nervous that won't happen the way I'd like it to.
Does your gender affect the way you view comedy, also how people view you?
Yeah, I think female comedians obviously get more heat. I think it's slowly changing with people like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, like Kristen Wiig in The Game, Amy Schumer, like just completely changing it up. But I think female comedians will always be judged a little more.
I think things are changing when it comes to female comedians, but yes, it's still like I was at an open mic recently, and Jordan, who's also in this video, and I both went up, and the host, after we both went up, came on, even though I have about 2.5 years of experience in stand-up. Like, I'm relatively experienced, and she's just smart. It was her second time, and she's just a genius anyway. And we did well, and probably better than a lot of the people on that show. I'm tooting my own horn, but I just know what I'm doing. I'm not like saying I'm the best comedian, I'm just saying like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And the host came on and goes, let's give it up for the female comedians. And it's like, we're not kids. Like, we're not some disadvantaged group.